Look at this report. Total sales, revenue by month, orders, all responding the instant I click, as fast as any Power BI report you've ever used. But here's the twist. None of this data was imported. There's no copy sitting inside the model, and there's no refresh schedule running in the background. This report is reading your data straight out of OneLake, live, and answering at full import speed. That's DirectLake, the newest, and for Fabric, the best way Power BI connects to your data. Over the next 20 minutes, we'll build the whole BI picture. What a semantic model actually is, how DirectLake works its magic, how it compares to the modes you already know, plus DAX, relationships, composite models, and even driving your model from a notebook. This is Fabric's BI engine. Let's dig in. To see why DirectLake matters, you need to feel the problem it solves. And for years, Power BI forced you into a genuinely hard choice. You had two ways to connect a report to data. The first is import mode. You copy the data into the model, and it lives in memory. The upside is huge. Queries are blazing fast, but the data is now a snapshot. It goes stale the moment the source changes, so you schedule refreshes to reload it, and if the table is enormous, it may not even fit in memory. The second option is direct query. Don't copy anything, just query the source live on every visual. Now your data is always fresh, but every single interaction fires queries at the source, so reports feel slow, you hammer the underlying system, and you lose some DAX and modeling features. So there it was, fast or fresh. Pick one. DirectLake is Fabric's answer to the obvious question, why not both? Before we get to DirectLake, let's be precise about what it actually powers, the semantic model. This is the single most important concept in Power BI, and a lot of people skip past it. A semantic model is the brain behind every report. It's not the report, and it's not raw data. It has three layers. First, tables, your sales, your dates, your products, your customers. Second, relationships, how those tables connect to each other. The star schema we'll come back to. And third, measures and logic. The DAX calculations that turn columns into real business metrics. Revenue, year-over-year percent, margin. Here's why it's so powerful. You define that logic once in a model, and then everything reads from it. Your Power BI reports, Excel, and pivot tables, paginated and embedded reports, and any external tool that connects over XML. One definition, one set of numbers everywhere. The model is the source of truth, and DirectLake is a mode for how that model gets its data. So here's the hero of the whole episode, DirectLake mode. Follow the path. On the left, your Power BI report, full of visuals and DAX. It reads from a semantic model, and that model is set to DirectLake mode. Now watch what the model connects to, OneLake, and specifically the V-order delta file sitting there. And notice what's missing in between. There is no copy. The model doesn't import the data, and it doesn't fire slow queries at a database either. It reads the delta files in OneLake directly. That gives you three things at once. No import. The data is never duplicated into the model. No refresh. There's no scheduled reload to run or wait on, because you're always reading the live files. And import speed. The columns load into memory on demand, and queries fly. It's the same fast VertiPack engine that import mode uses, just pointed straight at your lake. Best of both worlds. But how is that even possible? Let's open the hood. quick pattern interrupt because this is the trick that makes DirectLake work. And once it clicks, the whole thing makes sense. Remember from the Lakehouse and Warehouse episodes that Fabric writes its delta tables in a special layout called VOrder. VOrder sorts and compresses the columns, so they're already in almost exactly the shape Power BI and Memory Engine wants. That's the key. So here's what happens when you open a report. The data is sitting in OneLake as VOrder delta, columnar, sorted, ready to scan. When a visual runs, DirectLake pages only the columns that visual actually needs in a memory, not the whole table, just what gets touched. And because the on-disk VOrder format already matches the in-memory format, converting it, what's called transcoding, is near instant. Those hot columns then stay cached. So the next query is even faster, and a warm report feels exactly like import. Put it together, the data lives in OneLake, and memory is just a fast cache on top of it. That's why there's nothing to import and nothing to refresh. The model is always looking at the current files. Now let's line all three modes up side by side. Let's make the comparison crisp, because you'll be choosing between these constantly. 3 storage modes, 3 columns. Where does the data live? Import copies it into the model. DirectQuery leaves it in the source. DirectLake reads it from OneLake Delta. Query speed? Import is the fastest, DirectQuery is the slowest, and DirectLake is fast. Import class fast. Data freshness? Import is only as fresh as your last refresh. DirectQuery is always live, and DirectLake is always current because it reads the live files. Do you need refresh? Import, yes, scheduled. DirectQuery, none. DirectLake, none. Does it scale to big data? Import is limited by memory. DirectQuery scales, but stays slow. DirectLake scales because it only pages the columns it needs. And what's each best for? Import for smaller, static datasets. DirectQuery when you truly need a live source of truth. And DirectLake for BI over your Lakehouse and Warehouse, which is exactly the Fabric native case. That's the headline. DirectLake takes import's speed and DirectQuery's freshness, and it's the default you should reach for in Fabric. All right, we got a model. How do you actually turn it into a report? This part is refreshingly simple, and it's the same experience whether your model is import or DirectLake. On the left is the fields pane, every table, every column, and your measures, marked with that little calculator icon. In the middle is the canvas. You build a report by dragging fields onto it. Drag revenue and month, and you get a column chart of revenue over time. Drop a measure onto a card, and you get a big total. Add a table of regions, a list of top products. Then you shape it, pick the visual type, add slicers and filters, and set up drill through so a click takes you deeper. Every visual you place quietly generates a query against the model. And with DirectLake underneath, those queries hit your OneLake data at full speed. When it's ready, you publish to a workspace and share it. Pick fields, choose a visual, slice and filter, publish. That's the loop. But the real power isn't the visuals, it's the measures behind them. Let's talk DAX. Time for the language that makes Power BI powerful. DAX, the Data Analysis Expressions language. Another pattern interrupt, because this is where people either fall in love with Power BI or get stuck. Look at the code. Up top, a measure called revenue. It uses SUMX to walk the sales table row by row, multiplying quantity by price, and adds it all up. Below it, revenue year-over-year percent, which grabs last year's revenue with calculate and dated, then divides the change. Now, 3 ideas unlock all of DAX. First, measures are calculations evaluated at query time. They're not stored columns, they're computed on the fly for whatever's on screen. Second, filter context. A measure automatically responds to whatever the visual is filtering. Pick March, and revenue recalculates for March. No extra code. And third, row context. Functions like sumx iterate row by row, while calculate lets you rewrite the filters entirely. Master those three, and you can express almost any business metric. And the best part, it's the exact same DAX whether your model is Import or DirectLake. Let's go back to that middle layer of the model, relationships, because a good model has a shape, and that shape is the star schema. Picture it. In the center sits your fact table, sales, the table with the events, and the numbers you measure. Around it, like points of a star, sit the dimensions: date, product, customer, store, the tables that describe things. Each dimension connects to the fact with a one-to-many relationship. One product, many sales; one day, many sales. Why build it this way? Two big reasons. First, filters flow along those relationships. When you click a month on a slicer, the filter travels from the date dimension down into the fact table, and every measure recalculates for that month automatically. Second, a star schema is just better than one giant flat table. It's smaller, it compresses better, queries are faster, and it's far easier to reason about. Measures live on the fact. You slice by the dimensions. Get the shape right, and everything else in Power BI gets easier. Now, what if your data doesn't all live in one place? Here's a question you'll hit in the real world. What if most of your data is perfect for DirectLake, but you've got one table that needs to be live and another tiny lookup you just want to type in? That's what composite models are for. A composite model lets a single semantic model combine tables from different storage modes at the same time. So you keep your big fact tables in DirectLake, reading OneLake at speed. You add a live table over an external database in DirectQuery for data that must be up to the second. And you bold on a small static lookup, a mapping table, a set of targets, and import. All three sit in one model, feeding one report. And here's the elegant part. Relationships can span those sources, so a DirectLake fact table can relate to an import dimension, and it all just works. Composite models mean you're never forced into a single mode for the whole model. You pick the right mode per table, and Power BI stitches them together. That's real flexibility. Now let's connect this BI world back to code. Here's something that surprises a lot of people. Your semantic model isn't locked away inside Power BI. You can reach it from Fabric Notebook in Python using a library called Semantic Link or Sempy. Look at the code. You import sempy.fabric, and suddenly your BI model is a Python object. You can read a table from the model straight into a pandas data frame, the same sales table your report uses. Even better, you can evaluate a DAX measure from Python, call revenue year-over-year percent, grouped by month, and get the numbers back as data. Think about what that means. Your data scientists and your BI team share the exact same definitions. No re-implementing revenue in Python and hoping it matches the report. On top of that, Sempy can explore the model's tables, columns, and relationships programmatically, and it can run automatic data quality checks, like finding functional dependency violations you didn't know were there. Semantic Link is the bridge between the BI world and the data science world, and it only exists because both live on the same platform. Speaking of one platform, let's tie a bow on the whole thing. This is the callback I've been building toward all series, and it's the reason Fabric hangs together. Think about everything that writes data in Fabric. The Lakehouse, Spark writes Delta tables. The Warehouse, T-SQL writes Delta tables. Real-time intelligence, your streams land as Delta 2. And every one of them writes that data in the same view-ordered Delta format, into the same place, OneLake. One set of files. Now here's the payoff. DirectLake reads those exact same files. Not a copy of them, not an export, not a nightly extract into some separate BI database. The very same Delta files your Spark jobs and T-SQL and streams just wrote. So there's no ETL to a BI store and no data duplicated for reporting. The moment your pipeline writes a table, your DirectLake report can see it. That's the whole promise of OneLake made concrete. One copy of the data and every engine engineering, warehousing, real-time, and now BI, working off it. This is why DirectLake couldn't have existed before Fabric. Let's put the full flow together. Let's step all the way back and see the BI flow end to end. It's beautifully short. Your data sits in OneLake as V-ordered Delta, written by your Lakehouse, Warehouse, or real-time streams. A semantic model in DirectLake mode points straight at it, adding the relationships and DAX measures that turn columns into business logic. And a report reads that model, showing visuals that are always current. 3 steps, and notice what's not there. No import step, no refresh job, no separate BI copy of the data in the middle. 3 ideas to take with you. 1, build the semantic model once, and every report, Excel file, and tool shares the same numbers. 2, DirectLake gives you import class speed on data that's always current, ending the old faster fresh trade-off. And 3, it's the same OneLake as your Lakehouse, Warehouse, and real-time intelligence. So there's exactly 1 copy of the data underneath all of it. That's Fabric's BI engine. So that's DirectLake and semantic models, Fabric's BI engine, running right on OneLake. Let's recap. A semantic model defines your tables, relationships, and DAX logic once, and every report and tool reads from it. DirectLake mode lets that model read OneLake Delta directly, with no copy in the middle. That means no import and no refresh at import class speed, which finally beats the old Import-vs-DirectQuery trade-off. Everything you know still applies. DAX measures, star-schema relationships, and composite models when you need to mix storage modes. And Semantic Link brings that same model into your notebooks, so BI and data science share one definition. Best of all, DirectLake reads the very same view-ordered Delta that your Lakehouse, Warehouse, and real-time intelligence write. 1 copy of the data, every engine on top of it. Next up, we head into databases and Fabric. How mirroring pulls Cosmos, SQL, and Snowflake into OneLake, and how operational and analytical data finally meet. If DirectLake made BI click for you, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.